Hello all, this is Anagha here from AP Shah Institute of Technology. I work in Information Technology department, and in this video we'll be discussing about energy efficiency through cloud computing. So these are the details of my week 1 video and week 2 video. Moving further, by the end of this video, what are the outcomes that we have? So basically we'll be discussing about green cloud computing, how beneficial it is to switch from the physical hardware or on-premises hardware to cloud computing with reference to environment as well as sustainability. So there are various techniques like dynamic voltage frequency scaling, use of virtual machines, virtual consolidation. For these are the techniques used for converting your normal physical architecture into green cloud computing, and the result is we minimize the energy consumption. Second advantage or second outcome is there are multiple techniques or multiple algorithms for minimizing the energy consumption, like maximum min packaging, min max algorithm, maximization migration, and highest potential growth. Further, we need to discuss the ISO standards. The first ISO standard is ISO IEC 17788 and second one is ISO IEC 17789. These are the standards established for cloud computing, and there are various softwares that are available to analyze the carbon emissions of the IT infrastructures which are used in the organization. So further, first point that I would like to discuss is the ISO standards which are available for cloud computing. So the first one is, as we have discussed in previous slide, it is ISO IEC 17788. This standard is basically focusing on the common cloud computing terms, rather the definition of these terms. The terms like software as service, platform as service, and infrastructure as service, as well as the standard focuses on the term which is private cloud and public cloud. Moving further towards the second standard that we have, which is ISO IEC 17789. This standard is basically focusing on, we can say, the diagrams or architectures more compared to the first standard, and it is giving a focus on the key concepts which are related to broad network access, measured services, on demand self-service, rapid elasticity, scalability, and the most important one, resource pooling. So that is all about the ISO standards that we have got. Moving further, now I would like to discuss about carbon footprints of cloud computing. So as I have said earlier, cloud computing, or rather green cloud computing, reduces the carbon footprint of your actual on-premises hardware. So this emission can be reduced to 30 to 90%. How? Let's discuss that. So there are lots of servers in the office. If we are talking about on-premises setup, if I have an office and there are servers installed for performing some task, then we know that all of these servers are not fully utilized. So typically it is said that only 5 to 10% of the servers are percentage of the capability of the server are normally used. So if we are using cloud instead of on-premises setup, it provides you typically 70 to 80% of efficiency. The servers are 70 to 80% efficiently used, and also it provides you the advantage, okay, wherein you don't need to purchase the high capacity machines, okay, which are not even fully utilized. Moving further, how cloud computing is reducing the carbon footprint is, if I need a centralized server facility, in that case we need to build up a huge setup. We need buildings, we need a particular infrastructure, we need to take care of the temperatures of that particular infrastructure. Also, we need to focus on, these machinery requires maintenance, so we need to upgrade this, we need to maintain this, and based on this also you need to take care of the peak data loads, okay, which is to be handled by your server when the server is used by maximum users. Instead of all these things, if we are going on, or if we are deploying our services on cloud, a very few machines are sitting idle, and at the same time we have a benefit of same common cloud based infrastructure, wherein we don't have to worry about the infrastructure, the temperature maintenance, we don't have to focus about their maintenance, upgrading that particular software. Nothing is to be done, everything is managed by cloud. So let's move towards a case study wherein we know that Microsoft provides the cloud service, which is Azure. So there are three software services provided by cloud of Microsoft, which is your Azure services we call it. So first Azure services, Microsoft Exchange Online, next is Microsoft SharePoint Online, and next one is Microsoft Dynamics CRM, Customer Relationship Management. So this case study, or the study results, focus on three commonly used Microsoft cloud-based applications. While performing this study, what we are evaluating is, we are evaluating carbon footprint of the server, networking, and storage infrastructures. And we are considering here three different sizes of organization. First one, we are considering a small organization having 100 users. Next is medium organization having 1000 users, and next one, if we can see here, which is a large organization having 10,000 users. So this is the case study having three softwares with three different types of organizations. So if I have a small organization wherein I have the entire setup of servers on premises in the office, in the organization itself, the carbon emission is shown in the graph like this, which is quite high. So it is observed that smaller the organization, the larger the benefits of moving your business application to a cloud environment. So let's say first we'll discuss a smaller organization of 100 users. If we move to cloud from the local server, we reduce the carbon emission up to 90%. We can see for all the three applications of Microsoft which we are discussing, okay, or instead of saying application, I should say the cloud-based services provided by Microsoft Azure Cloud, the 90% of carbon emission can be reduced when it comes to your local servers, when it comes to your small organization. Next is when we talk about medium organization having 1000 users, as we can see in graph, the carbon emission can be reduced in the range of 30% to 60%. And when it comes to your large organization having 10,000, near about 10,000 users, the carbon emission can be reduced if we are switching from on-premises infrastructure to cloud. It can be reduced to 30% or more, so near about 30%. So that is all about the carbon footprint of cloud computing. Yes, it is definitely low, and from this figure we can see, from this graph we can see that if we are dealing with a small organization, it is always beneficial to go with a cloud system. Moving further, what softwares or what tools are available if I need to calculate how much is the carbon emission which is done by my IT peripherals. So in that case, first thing, or the first software that we have is Microsoft Sustainability Calculator. Microsoft Sustainability Calculator helps the organization to analyze the carbon emission of their IT infrastructure or IT peripherals. This particular calculator is a Power Business Intelligence application, and basically what it is calculating is, if you are using Azure Cloud for your organization, then it provides you the carbon emission of data associated with Azure services. So if whatever services of that particular Azure cloud which I am using for my organization, what is the carbon emission of these services, that is calculated by this. Moving further, this is how your sustainability calculator looks like. So we'll take a look at this. So first thing, on the left side, top left side, what we can see is, if I establish the servers on premises in my office, in that case, what is the total metric ton of carbon equivalent? So this is 478 is the carbon emission in terms of metric tons of carbon equivalent. So 478 is the carbon emission if I am going with the infrastructure which is there in my office. Instead of that, if I switch to Microsoft Azure, right, before I go to this part, first thing that we need to do is, we are supposed to select the infrastructure. So efficiency of your infrastructure, you need to select manually whether it is low, high or medium, how efficient your server is if you have a server on premises in your office. So 478, based on the efficiency low I have selected, I'm getting that 478 is the on premises emission in turns. If I switch to Microsoft Azure, minus 380 carbon efficiency, or we can say metrics ton carbon equivalence, is saved by the cloud which is provided by Microsoft, and 72 metric tons of carbon equivalence is saved by the renewable energy purchases by Microsoft Azure. So 478 minus 380 minus 72. So 26, what does 26 is? This 26 is the metric ton carbon equivalence emission if I am using Azure services. So we can see that there is a huge difference. If I am having a server in the office, I require, or it generates 478 tons of carbon emission, wherein if I switch to Microsoft Azure, only 26 metric ton of carbon emission is generated. So when we discuss about this minus 380 and minus 72, we say that yes, CO2 emission is reduced by 95%, right, which is equivalent to 1 million ton vehicles, traveling on a freeway. Moving further, if I need to go through the emissions of Azure services in terms of metric ton carbon equivalence, then on the basis of how many computers, for computers, or rather we can say the split up of this 26 tons of carbon emission, 13 metric tons is the emission of computers, the computing, or rather we can say the CPU services used by Azure. Next is for storage, it is 5 metric ton. Next is recovery services, requires 3. Next is SQL, requires 2. Web requires 1. Documents, analyze of service, and network requires 0, or rather we say it is negligible, that is why it is considered as 0. So this is the split up of this 26 tons of carbon emission which is generated by Azure. Also on the right side, on the top, we can see, we can select, or we can have a review of the carbon emissions, wherein we can go region wise, we can select the service types, and also we can get the data on the basis of carbon emissions of a particular region for particular months. So as we can see on the right side in the bottom, the graph gives you the carbon emission of by Azure cloud over time, okay, wherein monthly carbon emission is shown in the graph. Moving further, your Microsoft Azure also provides you the details regarding sustainability calculator, wherein it provides the transparency to the sustainability professionals regarding how they are building a more sustainable cloud. So as we have seen in previous slide, we require 26 metric tons of carbon equivalents. So CO2 emission is 26 tons. Out of this, the offset which we have, actually we require, or actually the Azure service, okay, requires 24 metric tons, okay, or the Microsoft operations, okay, which are performed at the Azure cloud, okay, have the emissions of 24 metric tons. Okay, so if we are discussing about 24 metric tons, we come to know that there is the emission of data flow over internet is 2 metric tons of carbon equivalents. Okay, so further we come to know that out of 26 metric tons, 24 is actually used, or 24 metric tons is the actual emission by Microsoft operation which is performed on cloud, and 2 metric tons is the emission wherein data is flowing over internet. We are sending the request to the cloud is responding as black, takes 2 metric tons of carbon emission. So that is all about your Microsoft sustainability calculator. One more software which is available by the very famous IT industry, VMware Carbon Calculator. So this VMware Carbon Calculator helps the enterprises to find out how much money your organization can save by switching your servers to cloud, and at the same time how you can protect the environment. So when we are dealing with this, we need to answer a simple question: how many servers do you plan to virtualize? Let's say, for example, I've given input as I have 25 physical servers in the organization and I need to switch it to the cloud computing. So if this is the scenario provided by me, the VMware Carbon Calculator provides the details about energy cost reduction, hardware cost reduction, energy savings, and environmental impact. Let's go through it one by one. So I have considered that we can see over here how many servers do you plan to virtualize. I have given input here as 25. So when it comes to energy cost reduction, the cost is reduced. This is of course the annual energy cost. So annual energy cost which is reduced if I switch to cloud service is near about $16,000. So you can see a graph over here. This is for physical on-premises infrastructure. This is for your cloud. Next, hardware cost reduction. Again, it is an annual cost. So physical hardware cost is reduced to 85,000. This includes the actual cost of the hardware, maintenance and upgradation and everything. So 85,000 near about, you can see a graph over here. So 85,000 of the cost is saved. Next is when it comes to energy savings, the annual energy savings are quite high. It is 1 lakh, near about 1,65,000. You can see a graph over here again. And the last one and the most important, environmental effect. So total carbon emission which is reduced if you're using a cloud system is near about 2,61,000. So you can see a graph over here. If I am using 25 25 servers in my office, sorry. So if we have got 25 servers actually in the premises in my office, the carbon emission is annually I need to plant 362 plants. Okay, it is as good as that. And if Instead of that, if I switch to cloud, it is as good as taking 22 cars off the freeway. Moving further to the conclusion, through this entire video, I would like to conclude that yes, cloud computing is a solution if we want to reduce the carbon footprints of our IT infrastructure. How it can be achieved? Yes, if you're switching to cloud computing, the first and the major advantage which we have is it is efficient and it is lightweight, as we have discussed earlier. If we are going switching to cloud, you don't have to worry about the infrastructure, you don't have to worry about actually buying the system, and the maximum utilization of server is achieved through this. And next one is yes, it affects the economies, or we can say the cost is reduced. If you are switching to cloud, you don't have to buy the hardwares, you don't need to maintain them, you don't need to upgrade them, you don't need a separate infrastructure, a separate building for maintaining your cloud. So yes, cloud computing is a solution for small organization, medium, or whether it is a large organization. Cloud computing always helps to reduce the carbon emission of your organization. Thank you so much.